Ready? Play.
Well, hello there once again. We are here to do the ATP side of things, so let's get to it. Okay, ATP predictions for, that's the WTA, so that's already a little error, but don't worry about that. Here we go, ATP, fingers crossed, TNNS, it's working. Here we go. Let's go for the qualifier from Japan, Mochizuki, to overcome the Australian Vukic. Let's go for Xi Jinping to beat the wild card Kovacevic. And we will also see Mickelson, I think, will overcome Muna. And I will go for... let's go for the qualifier, Lucas Klein, to win that encounter there. Let's go for Artefis over Nuno Borges. Let's go for Kecmanovic over Sonego, but that's a close one. That's a real close encounter. Let's go for Monfils over Purcell, but that could go either way. And we'll also have Kaboli to beat Carballes, Baena, Dan Evans over Safiullin, but not with any great assurance, I would say. Let's go for Mashak over Wawrinka. It's a really tough first round for Stan the Man, who's struggling for wins right now. Let's go for Alexander Muller over the qualifier Grenier. And we'll go for Tabilo over Kotov. Of course, Tabilo making the final in Santiago just last week. We'll go for Zapata Morales over the wildcard Fabio Fognini. Keep an eye on Sebastian Baez. He's obviously in good form. Back-to-back championships in Latin America and the ATP 500 in Rio, followed by the 250. In Santiago. We'll go for Shapo over Botic, but that's a battle of the two players who can't get a win right now. Rafa against, this is the battle of the walking wounded. We'll go for Rafa over Raonic, but that could go either way. And we'll go for David Goffin to knock out Andy Murray. Sorry, Andy. Let's go for Nakashima to pick up a win in the first round over fellow American Eubanks. Lehetska, they're just squeezing into the seedings at 32. We'll go for Rusevori to beat Lajovic, Altmaier to beat Pui, and let's have Mensik to beat the qualifier Hong, but that's an interesting one. Let's go for Shevchenko over Kupfer, and we will also choose Borna Choric over Ofner, Giron over Kokinakis, Giron playing quite well at the moment too, and we'll go for Jack Draper. If he's healthy, can he stay healthy for a lengthy run in a tournament, like a final, for example? I mean, okay, maybe that's a bit much here, but we saw him run out of steam again in Acapulco recently. Such a shame because he was playing so well before that. I say run out of steam. He was obviously a bit ill there, and that does happen to other players in Acapulco. But Jack, unfortunately, does have this habit of not quite managing to last the pace at the moment. Let's go for Hanfman over Cashin, and we will also tip Jordan Thompson to win over Shang. Tara Daniel over Galan. Oh, how far do you have De Minaur going in this one? That'll be interesting, because obviously he's in excellent form this year. We'll go for Thiago Seyboth-Wild over JJ Wolf. Wolf coming back, it seems. We'll go for Marajan over Popperin. Might be a chance for Marajan to drop a few of those drop shots that he loves to demonstrate. We'll go for Kudla over Lestien. Arnaldi over Van Ash to join Alcaraz, of course, in the second round. So, talking of second rounds, what's going on? We'll have Djokovic to beat the qualifier, Mochizuki. Let me know in the comment section below just how bad my pronunciation is. Also, hit that like button And don't forget to subscribe. We've got people on the ground this week, and the only way we get people on the ground is by people clicking subscribe and like. So do it. Okay, back to the draw. Let's go for Xi Jinping over the Argentinian Echeverri. Let's go for Tommy Paul over Mickelson. Why don't I have anybody playing Humbert? Let me check. Maybe I forgot to click on something there. It looks like I did. Sorry to the qualifier Quinn, who I have beating Kipson. Now we have a full draw, I hope. Yes, we do. Tommy Paul beating Mickelson. Humbert to beat Quinn. Humbert, of course, coming off a good title in the Middle East, an ATP 500 there. Let's go for Casper Ruud over Lucas Klein. Casper Ruud as well, showing some signs of a return to form. Artifice to beat David Fokina. No, David Fokina to beat Artifice. That was a close one and a tricky one, and just any result is possible there with two players with huge question marks over them right now. Kecmanovic to beat Norrie. Sorry, Cam. Let's go for Hurkacz over Monfils. Daniel Medvedev, the hardcourt specialist, in the exact location where he said, I know that I would know what a hardcourt is. I'm a hardcourt specialist. This is not a hardcourt. But anyway, the hardcourt specialist to beat Koboli. Let's have Sebi Korda over Dan Evans. Let's go with Manarino over Mashak, but it could be either way. Let's go for Dimitrov over Muller. Fritz over Tabilo, the recent finalist in Santiago. Baez over Sabata Morales, continuing his good form. Musetti over Shapovalov. Holger Rune to bring Rafa Nadal's run to an end. And to be honest with you, if Rafa Nadal wins a match and doesn't get injured and heads towards the clay season in good health, ready for Monte Carlo. I say ready for the clay court season. I don't think he'll play I don't think he'll play Miami. I guess it's a success. Anything beyond this round is an unbelievable success for Rafa if he can beat Holger Rune in round 2. But what a clash that would be. I think it would be eagerly anticipated, that's for sure. Andrei Rublev against Goffin. Rublev to win that one. Let's go for Lahetska over Nakashima. Tiafoe over... No, let's go for Rusevori over Tiafoe. Tiafoe in wretched form right now. Tsitsipas's form isn't much better, but I will have him beating Altmaier. Ben Shelton to beat Mensik. Cerundolo to knock out... No, let's go for Shevchenko over Cerundolo. Cerundolo's form as well is sketchy, to say the least. Let's go for Jan-Lennard Struff to beat Borna Coric. Struff, of course, still yet to win an ATP Tour final. Yannick Sinner getting his campaign off and running against Marco Chiron. That's a tricky first encounter, though, for the Italian, but I would expect him to win, but maybe in 2 close sets. Zverev to beat Draper in the battle of the tall players. Griekspoor to knock out Hanfman. We'll go for Bublik over Thompson, but that could go either way, and maybe Jordan might fancy the conditions there. Dimonor, informed Dimonor over Tara Daniel. Hachinov to get his campaign off to a winning start against Wild. Going to go for Marajan over Jarry. Jarry, yeah. Felix to beat Kudla, but Felix is hanging on to that seeding spot. Might not be long before he's no longer seeded at these tournaments. And Alcaraz, last year's winner, to beat Arnaldi. The conditions are perfect for Carlos Alcaraz. Maybe more perfect than any other tournament on the planet. But question marks over his form. Maybe the draw too. Anyway, let's see. Djokovic to beat Xi Jinping. Let's have Ugo Humbert over Tommy Paul. Let's have Casper Ruud over David Fokina. Hurkacz to knock out Kecmanovic. Medvedev to beat Korda in a rematch of their Australian Open encounter. I don't think they've played each other since then, of last year. And, of course, Korda winning that one. We'll go for Grigor to knock out Adrian Manarino. Taylor Fritz to beat Sebastian Baez. Of course, Taylor Fritz a champion here in 2022. Holger Rune to knock out Musetti. Not a bad draw there for I would suggest for Holger at that stage. Rublev will beat Lehecka, but that could be close. Tsitsipas will knock out Rusevori. Ben Shelton over Shevchenko. Yannick Sinner to beat Struff. That's a nice draw for Yannick. We'll go for Zverev over Grigspor. De Minaur or Bublik? I think De Minaur will win that one right now. De Minaur is just slightly ahead of Bublik in terms of form. Khachanov or Marajan? Khachanov to win that one and Carlos to beat Felix. That'll be a nice match to see, but I do expect Carlos to win. Now, if Carlos can stay fit and show that he's got his movement back, he didn't look 100%, I would suggest, in that match in that exhibition in Las Vegas against Rafa the other day, but I think a couple of match wins might well put him well on the way. Interesting to see, by the way, his shoes have changed. I saw that he was wearing a slightly thicker shoe again in Las Vegas. It'll be interesting to see if he sticks with that sort of thicker, bigger shoe that he wore during the Golden Swing of last year when he made both finals, but then abandoned for pretty much the rest of the year, and also this year for the much thinner and lighter Nike shoe. Anyway, sidetrack. Novak to beat Humbert. We'll go with Hurkacz over Kasper. Medvedev to knock out Dimitrov, but no great conviction there. Rune, Taylor, Fritz. I'm going Taylor. Call me crazy. I'm going Andre over Stefanos. And I'm going to go with Yannick over Ben Shelton. That's a tricky one, though. 4th round for Yannick. We'll go with Alcaraz to beat Khachanov, and we'll go with Zverev to beat De Minaur. How boring is my last 8, by the way? I've only got Taylor Fritz, who's not in the top 8 seeds. Call me Vance if you wish, and call me boring. You're absolutely right for doing so. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about these predictions. Novak to beat Hurkacz. Medvedev, if he's fit, to beat Fritz. Sinner to beat Rublev. Alcaraz to beat Zverev. Yeah, not with any great conviction. I'm going for Novak Djokovic to beat Medvedev. Carlos Alcaraz to beat Yannick Sinner. Crazy, maybe. Yeah, I know. And Novak Djokovic to beat Carlos Alcaraz. I was just not sure. Yeah, that's it. To be honest with you, though, you can probably see that I'm not sure about many of those last picks. Even Nostradamus can doubt himself. So there you have it. Novak Djokovic is my winner. But what is yours? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Blah, 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 blah. Also hit the like button as well. So, yeah, you know the drill. I'm going to repeat it now anyway. And that concludes my predictions for the ATP side of things. I've already done my live show for the WTA, so check that one out. And also join us in our TNNS Fantasy League as well. I've posted it recently on Twitter. It's also posted in the recent WTA video. And I've got it on Twitter, as I said, and as soon as my Twitter page loads, I will tell you the code. So if you go to the TNNS Fantasy League, you'll see the Talking Tennis League is there, along with this code, which is 5891, 5891. That is the code for our Talking Tennis Fantasy League. So come join us there. And to the rest of you, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.